my name is Marissa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited because I am going to be reviewing knit and crochet projects that I made 20 years ago. I was like 8. And they're all in here. I have no idea what's in here. I did peek in here to make sure that there were yarn projects and it wasn't just like random crap from over the years. There's yarn in here, so we have that much information. Before we get into the video, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I am a teeny tiny little channel and any support goes a very long way. I first want to give some context as to when I started crocheting, what that whole journey looked like, where I'm at now, the whole shebang. So I started crocheting when I was like probably 7 or 8 years old. I don't know the exact year, but around that time. My grandmother was the one who taught me. She was a very avid knitter, crocheter. Everyone and their mother got a sweater. Like, it was like a known thing. Grandma Ann made you a matching sweater with your hat and a scarf, and they were all itchy. She even had like a cute little like handmade tag that my dad actually sent me a few weeks ago because I was like, I know she had custom tags. Custom tags meaning like it had like a handmade thing. She was always the person I would go to for like crafting things. I was a very crafty child. I would do cross stitching. I would do the pot holders. I would do those, I forget what they're called, but it's like a, not like a rug, but there's like a hook and there's like the mesh and you like pull the yarn through. I think I made like a butterfly and there was like a smiley face with a rainbow that they still have at Joann's. I checked, the packaging is the same. I would do stuff like that. So I was always working with my hands and doing that kind of stuff as a child. So my grandma really took me under her wing and taught me how to knit and crochet. And I feel like that's really cool because I feel like a lot of kids were playing with Barbies and here I am making a scarf. Now, sadly, she did pass away in 2005 from cancer when I was about 9 years old. So in that brief moment, I didn't get to learn too much, but I learned enough where I very wobbly was able to kind of navigate projects. So that's when it first started. Now, fast forward to 2020, when everyone was losing their minds because they're stuck inside from the global pandaroonie, and I was trying to pick up another hobby that didn't really require being behind a computer screen. I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, and you know when you just had enough of it where it's like your hobby shouldn't just be the thing that you're still doing for professional work. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I needed something tangible with my hands. So 2020 I picked up a bunch of different kinds of crafts, and then I picked up crochet because I remembered how much I loved to do it as a kid. And I didn't really remember much, but it was kind of like a muscle memory thing that once I kind of went on YouTube and started learning it again, I did pick it up. I started off by making squares, and I would cut out little pieces of like leather, fake leather, pleather, and sew them on the corners of the coasters just to make it a little bit more modern. And that was about as far as I got because then life happened and we all know how 2020 went. Now fast forward again to May of 2022, last year, my husband and I moved into this 2-bedroom apartment, and while I was packing up all my crafting items, I did find a few balls of yarn from 2020. So I decided that maybe this was time to pick it up again. So I did. I actually started on Skillshare, which is such a random place to pick up crochet again. And there was a tutorial on how to make crochet hearts. I actually have them hanging up on my desk right now with like a fun variegated yarn, I think from like Michael's or something. And after that, I don't know what it was, second time was the charm. I was hooked, pun intended. So for the past year and a half, I have just been crocheting non-stop. So last summer, when I found this thing again, I thought, okay, this is a fun full circle moment. Let's go back in time and see what my little hands were working on. So that's where we're at today. So some predictions. There's a few things that I do remember being in here. One of them was this like, I think it was like a rainbow variegated yarn. It's all acrylic stuff, it's all very basic. I remember obviously the iconic green that my grandma was always using. I think there was a scarf that I tried making that was like a bluish gray and maybe like a purple one. I didn't get very far into the world of crochet when I was a kid. It was really just kind of going back and forth into rows, and I made a scarf that's like 2 inches thick. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm nervous. Now, something also to note, I do not know how to knit as it stands right now. I've only had my renaissance in crochet, so knitting over my head, I'm sure if I picked it up and like spent some time relearning the craft, it would like click for me again. I remember the basic gestures, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's go in here. Oh, I was right. Oh my god. Okay, so, wow. Oh girl, these edges. Look at these edges. I think this looks like it's knit. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the exact purple that I was thinking of. This is crazy. We got a good hole in the middle here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh wait, no, this was crochet. Was it crochet? I don't know. Again, I don't know how to knit. This is really funny. So I definitely was not counting my stitches back then. I mean, it is made for a child. I was literally just single digits when I made this. Oh my god, this is so funny. Yeah, there's some craziness happening. Wow. The holes are really endearing, I gotta say. Like, oh. Alright, let's not spend too much time on that. What's next? The green. Oh, it's just even skinnier. Alright, this did not get very far. I'm hoping, I know the autofocus is kind of weird on this. This is not even, this could maybe be like a really tight turtleneck. This is definitely just single crochet. Girl, these rows are so messy. From what I remember, I never learned increasing or decreasing. I think we only just got as far as just basic stitching. Very, very limited knowledge that I had, but another one. There's less holes in this, I will say. I think there's, it does look like I did like a chain one situation on the end. I remember her having to help me with going to the next row for in the beginning. Like, it's just, my memory is so spotty because this was like 20 years ago. I have not seen these in like 20 years. I'm 27 now, just for context. All right, what else we got? Okay, some brown. I don't remember this, but we got yarn. I don't really remember making anything with this yarn, but I remember this yarn specifically. I don't know if anybody else was like this as a kid, where they kind of latched on to like a theme. For me, as a kid, I was really into like yellow and green because it was lemon and lime. Does that make sense? Probably not. But I really like this yarn because it reminded me of lemon and lime. That is such a weird thing to say. I hope anyone who's watching understands what I mean by that. I was also, I think this time period, obsessed with this color. I remember getting an LL Bean backpack back when you can, I mean, I'm sure you can still customize them, but as a kid, we customized our backpacks, and I said my name, I said Marissa, and I specifically remember the lime green backpack I had like a daisy that was yellow in the center with the white petals, and this is all of these colors. That's funny. This might be the sugar and cream yarn. What else? Oh my gosh. Okay. This is the big one. This is the knitting project. Just to show you what this yarn looks like. It's like a rainbow variegated situation. There's a random pom-pom. A little flat. You know, it's only been sitting for 20 years. Oh dear. I remember working on this. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at how pretty this is on the needle, first of all. I don't know what it is that I was trying to make. I did this when I was a kid. There's so many holes in this. Oh my gosh. Look at that. There's like little windows everywhere. I think it's really cool to go back and look at this, especially now that I've been so avidly crocheting. Again, I know this one's knit. I think it's really cool to go back and look at these old projects because now I wouldn't call myself a professional. I've only been doing it for a year. But I would like to say that I'm pretty darn good at it now. Being able to just like hold something that I also made as a child and just kind of seeing what was going on up here. The rows are sloppy, but that's okay. It was still made with love. I don't know what happened here. Oh my god, this is amazing. I actually really like how this is pooling. I know it's a little chaotic, but I mean, it's very early 2000s. Sorry, I'm just like admiring it. I think it's really cool to watch the progression of somebody as an artist, and obviously it's never going to be perfect. If you're perfect, I don't believe you. But I think it's really awesome, especially when it's on something that you're really passionate about, to just like see where it started. Even though there was a giant gap in my timeline doing this, I think it's so cool to see where it all began. This yarn is really cool. I'm like so curious to know if they still make something like this. Like I know there's like variegated like rainbow yarns. I remembered this project and I spent quite a bit of time trying to find the exact one, but I feel like they're all, I mean of course they're different. Again, it's been 20 years. This is so cool. That's all that's in the bag for some reason. I thought there would have been like so much more. But I did find old knitting instructions. Maybe I'll learn how to do it again from this. These like nice diagrams. Okay, I'm not gonna get too deep into this. Obviously the rainbow one is probably my favorite just because the colors are so fun. It's a very kid thing to have, but I gotta say I really like this purple one. It's really stretchy. This is definitely knit. I think the green one probably came first and this one came after because it seems a little bit more confident of itself. Again, there are holes. There are holes in here. But I actually got decently far. I don't know how many like 8-year-olds can say that they made themselves a scarf, but I think that's pretty neat. Another cool thing about this, I think, is also still having that connection with somebody that passed away, who was so prevalent in your early years, especially being an artist in a family, and she was like the main artist in the family and we just both connected over that. The fact that I found my way back to it, I think, is also what's really cool and meaningful. And I have other family members that also work with yarn, and it's like something that we're now all able to kind of like talk about, be like, look what I made. And it's just like, I don't know. It's a really cool time capsule, I think, and it's important to go back to the things from your childhood that you really enjoyed doing. That's something that I've been finding myself doing lately, is going back and kind of pulling that inner child out and being like, what can we work on today? Also, should I make something with these yarns? They're just sitting. They're from 20 years ago, but they're actually kind of soft for acrylic. Does acrylic get softer over time if it's never been touched? How does that work? I feel like this would be a really cool granny square project because this is variegated, so you get that cool like color change texture without it totally being uniform, but also it's still cohesive. I don't know. Let me know what I should make with these two colors. Now, obviously this was not all of the projects that I worked on as a kid. There was definitely another scarf situation that I made that was like a grayish blue. I specifically remember sitting in my room making it. Same thing, uneven edges. It was a hot mess, but I think that one was crochet. And I feel like that might have been after she had passed away and I didn't have that resource to fall back on, like, help me save this project. But I think it's really cool that I still have all of these things, and it's like such a full circle moment. So if there was a craft that any of you also liked to do as a kid, but you never made your way back, let me know what it is in the comments, and then also let me know if you did try it again. I want to know. That is all for today's video. I will be posting a lot more crochet content. I know this channel has been kind of active and then inactive. I've been trying to figure it out, okay? But I will be posting a lot more crochet content over the next few months and hopefully more steadily in the future. I have a lot of ideas and it would mean a lot if you would subscribe. So I'll see you next time, my friends. Bye.